So I wanted to go ahead and do a quick little always on display comparison in terms of battery and kind of what they look like on the Pixels, on the iPhones, and on the Samsung Galaxies as well. Now I've been running this for about 21, 22 seconds now, and essentially I have the always on displays natively as to how they're supposed to be set up. Now to be fair, I didn't want to have the wallpaper on for the 14 Pro, so I did turn this wallpaper off, but for the most part, all the apps are cleared out in the background. They are actually also on the highest supported software. I have already updated all of these, so whatever basically happens is native to what they're supposed to be as of right now. So I'm very curious to see what this comparison is going to end up doing. So I'll check back in whenever I can, probably every hour or so, and just kind of see what the battery life is on all of these. So they're still all at 100% as of right now, as you all can see. I know the battery percentage there is kind of missing. As you can see, when I tapped on all of them and I kind of hopped out, you can kind of also see how the always on display kind of clicks back into place as soon as the wallpaper, or as soon as it basically goes into timeout mode. I will say out of all these, probably the Pixel looks the best. I love how the time looks just so nice. I kind of like the iPhone is definitely in second place, and probably Samsung's probably in last place. So we'll check back in about another hour or so and kind of see where they're at. So it's been almost an hour now, and interestingly enough, this is honestly some crazy stuff. The Pixel 7 is still at 100%, the iPhone 14 Pro is still at 100%, but the Samsung Galaxy S22 has now gone to 99% battery life right now, which is honestly pretty wild. So from that perspective in and of itself, it's actually pretty insane that these phones, it's good that they're still at 100%, but for the Galaxy S22 to already be at 99%, to lose 1% already in an hour, is honestly a little bit concerning. So we'll check back in periodically again, and I guess we'll just see what happens, but I think we already know which one would inevitably die first. So it's been a few more hours later at that 3 hour and 37-minute mark, and you can see that the Pixel 7 is at 99%, the iPhone 14 Pro still at 100%, and the Galaxy S22 is at 94%. So definitely when it comes down to it, all these phones are at varying capacity still. So again, we'll let them go for a little bit longer and kind of see, how well they do. I'd probably say around, we kind of already have an idea. I'd probably stop at around that 5 hour mark just for us to kind of get an idea what's going on. But essentially that's where we're at right now. All right, so we are at the 4 hour and 19-minute mark, and the Pixel 7 did get down to 98%. The iPhone 14 Pro is at 99% now, and the Galaxy S22 is at 93%. So I will go ahead and pretty much end this, battery comparison now. We can kind of get an idea that potentially over the long period of time, the iPhone 14 Pro is probably going to give you a better battery experience than the Galaxy S22 and the Pixel 7. Now, another thing to note is that the brightness of these always-on displays doesn't really match with what the settings are for your phone. For example, for the 14 Pro, the brightness is much higher, so there's the ambient light sensor that also affects the battery lives here too. But I do want to showcase one more thing, which is actually the feature set behind all of these always-on displays. So if we go and make our way over to our home screens, what's cool about iPhones is that we do have the ability of actually customizing our lock screen straight from our, settings panel or from our main lock screen too. So we can customize how our always-on display looks. So if we click customize, if we click here, essentially the widgets that we have here can be customized, which is actually really awesome. Now on the other side, with the Galaxy S22 here, we have a little bit of customizability too. So if I go ahead and make my way over to our settings panel here, we can go and click on settings here. I can go under into display, and we should be able to get into our lock screen portion. And within our always on display, we have a little bit of customizability that we have. So you can see right here, we have the ability of, showing our display always, showing on a schedule, tap to show, which is pretty cool. You tap it and then it shows the always on display. You can change your clock style as well, whether you want it this way. You can change the coloring situation as well for your lock screen. So you can go and hop back out. So I will definitely say for now, you have more customizability on One UI than you do on iOS. So keep that in mind. You can also change the screen orientation of the always on display. You can obviously show music information and auto brightness as well, which I just keep toggled on. So you definitely do have a lot more, I would say, for now, customizability of everything on One UI. Weirdly enough, on the Google Pixel 7 though, this is something that's a little bit interesting. With our lock screen, we just have the ability of basically toggling on our always on display. So here we have always show time and info. This is basically our always on display for now. I do think things are probably going to change in the future. I did also notice that with One UI, they also made a lot more improvements to customizing our lock screen, more so than stock Android as well. So that might be something Android 14 may end up doing, is bringing more customizability in general than iOS and stock Android for the most part. So I'll definitely say I think the winner overall in the battery department is clearly the iPhone 14 Pro. It's definitely giving you better battery life now than these other devices, but I will say the customizability standpoint probably goes to One UI. I think Samsung does the best in terms of customizability and everything like that. And I do think Google is probably in third place. I think they need to improve it a little bit more. Stock Android is great, but they need to start adding a lot more features. Samsung has tons of features built in, but the Google Pixel 7 did do better in the battery life department than the Galaxy S22 for now. So that pretty much covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.